When you hear the word hell, an exact image surfaces: a subterranean cavern of fire, demons with pitchforks, and a torture chamber for the damned. This specific cultural imagery did not exist when Jesus was walking the earth in the first century. His audience had never seen medieval European art, and the literary world of Dante's Inferno was still over a millennium away. Look at the original Greek manuscripts of the New Testament. You won't find the English word hell. Instead, Jesus uses a highly localized term: Gehenna. Gehenna is a physical location, a deep ravine right outside the ancient walls of Jerusalem you can still walk through today. To grasp the terror of Jesus' words, we must look past supernatural myths and focus on this jagged ravine. This is the valley of the son of Hinnom. It looks like a quiet, rocky stretch of terrain, but its history is defined by a deep ancestral trauma. The dread associated with this land began centuries before the time of Jesus, rooted in a period of extreme moral collapse. In a desperate bid for political security and wealth, rogue Israelite kings seized control of this valley. They used this specific ravine for rituals that horrified their own people. They erected statues to a foreign god named Molech, bronze idols designed for a singular, horrific purpose. These kings actively sacrificed their own children, building roaring fires inside the metallic statues to incinerate their own offspring. Because of these atrocities, the Valley of Hinnom became the site of Israel's greatest shame, a place where the most precious human potential was intentionally destroyed for the sake of power. Eventually, King Josiah ascended the throne, and when he saw the blood-soaked history of the valley, he decided it could never be allowed to happen again. Josiah intentionally desecrated the land. He placed a permanent curse on the ravine, decreeing that it would never again be used for anything sacred or human. By the 1st century, Gehenna had become the municipal incinerator for Jerusalem. Fires were kept burning day and night to consume the massive amount of waste generated by the city above. This was where the city threw its most dishonored refuse: dead animal carcasses and the bodies of executed criminals deemed unworthy of a burial. When Jesus describes a place where the worms do not die and the fire is not quenched, he is referencing the literal maggots and constant smoldering ash of this local dump. Jesus was pointing out the window at a literal cursed wasteland his audience could smell and see from where they stood. This physical history gave Jesus the most visceral image of waste imaginable, a place where things that were once alive and valuable were turned into rotting, smoldering trash. To his audience, Gehenna represented the ultimate tragedy, the total loss of utility. It was where valuable things went to be discarded and forgotten. His warnings about this valley focused on the present tense. He used the smoke to illustrate a life consumed by greed, hatred, or betrayal, behaviors that slowly burn a person's character to ash. Just as the kings of old sacrificed their children for power, people today can sacrifice their relationships and their purpose for short-term gain, effectively building their own personal valley of destruction. This creates a terrifying psychological parallel. A human being can choose to live in the holy city of purpose and love, or they can slide down into the Gehenna of their own isolation. The true terror of hell is the tragedy of a wasted soul. The valley is always there, waiting outside the walls, but walking into it is a choice.